Hello, everyone, and welcome to GCC. My name is Chelsea, and today we're diving into a topic that's interest to everyone, building strong relationships and godly marriage. Joining us is Pastor Simba Woloza. He is the founder and senior pastor at Praise City Church in Rua. He's coordinator of Marriage Week Zimbabwe. He's also the founder of Strong Bonds Marriage Africa. That's where he mentors hundreds of couples. Pastor Simba is a speaker, a parent coach, relationship coach, marriage counselor. He's also an author for the Marriage Handbook. And Pastor Simba is a host of Relationship Goals every Thursday on Star FM Zimbabwe. Most importantly, Pastor Simba has been happily married to Pastor Glory for 26 years, and they have three beautiful children. Pastor Simba, welcome to GCC. We're so honored to have you today.
Thank you for having me, Chelsea. I was looking forward to this meeting, eh? You have no idea.
Amazing. I like the sound of that. Can you just please
Yeah.
tell us about yourself? And
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Everything that you said about me in your intro, 100% correct.
Okay.
Very passionate about marriage, relationships in general. My wife and I, we are quite a busy couple, but we stop whenever there's something that has to do with marriage. We stop. That's how passionate we are. So,
Beautiful.
yeah, I'm super excited to be here, very committed to the institution of marriage and just seeing young couples, older couples
Mm.
living in harmony. That's what we want to see at the end of the day. So yeah, I mean, you have said everything, Chelsea. What is there to say?
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
So, why do you think so many relationships are failing today? And what are we getting wrong?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things are going wrong, Chelsea. You won't believe it. A lot of things. I always give this example. I always say that back then,
Mm,
when you look at our mothers, our fathers, our parents, that is, they would stay in marriage for the longest. But,
mm,
fast forward, marriage doesn't have that longevity anymore. So I want you to picture a room. So back
right.
then, if you were getting married, it's like you're getting into a room through one
Mm,
exit point, which is also an entry point.
mm.
And whatever happens in that room, you have to find each other and make things work because there's only one exit point.
Oh,
And
wow.
many
Mm,
times you'll be encouraged to stay there, to stick around, to work out your things, to
mm,
also pursue, other community streams where you can actually get counseling, help, and all that.
mm.
But fast forward now, when you get married, you enter into a room that is several exit points, 5, 6 exit points.
There's
So,
windows, there's back doors.
so the smallest of all conflicts, Chelsea, will send you back home. The smallest of all conflicts, you are quick to pack your bags and say, you know what? I have other options. I have many options. And yeah, and also when you look at how things are now, you
Mm,
find that people are now awake to their personal happiness. They know what they want. So they
mm.
actually, prioritize their personal happiness over, anything else. So
Enduring,
yeah,
I
that's
guess.
yeah, yeah.
Mm,
So they're quick to leave the marriage if it's not giving them that satisfaction. So fast forward, yes, we have many challenges. I can also mention the rise of infidelity, Chelsea. It
mm,
has actually gone to another level. I
mm.
mean, people now have the means to actually get into extramarital affairs. And as you know, extramarital affairs cost, they cost money.
They're
So
expensive,
now
yes.
people have the means. And also the other gender that was not known for infidelity. I'm
Mm.
talking of the female
The
gender.
female side,
Now,
yes.
yeah, now a lot are saying, you know what? It's now an equal opportunity sort of situation. What the men can
Mm.
do, we can also
And
do.
women can
So
do
there's
better.
infidelity. There's infidelity. There's also financial inequality,
Mm,
which is the situation where maybe the woman is earning more than the man. That
mm, mm,
actually, is also an issue because a lot of people are not trained to handle such. So
Right,
before you know
right.
it, there's a lot of financial strain in the marriage, leading to divorces. There's also interference from the families. There's
Mm,
just a lot, Chelsea, that is happening now that is actually a threat to our marriages. And also the confusion that comes with people that were socialized seeing a traditional marriage of their parents. And fast
mm.
forward, we now have a modern marriage. We also now have a kingdom marriage, which is one kind of a marriage that we push for. So that has brought in a lot of challenges.
You've touched on kingdom marriage. Can you elaborate a little bit more about what is it to our viewers and as Christians, what how can we achieve that?
Okay, so when we talk of a kingdom marriage, we are talking of a marriage that is premised on the principles of God.
Mm.
We all know that marriage is not, or rather, it was not Adam's idea. It was actually the idea
I
of
like
God.
that. I haven't heard it like that before.
Yeah. So what it means, Chelsea, is that
Mm.
God is the one who initiated the institution called
Marriage.
marriage.
Yes, yes,
So
that's
it
true.
means that if we are going to live in a healthy relationship with our spouses, we then need to draw some few lessons, principles from the original plan of God, which we
Mm.
find in the Bible. So that then makes that kind of a marriage a kingdom marriage because it's premised on the principles of God.
Of
For
God,
instance,
yes.
the principle of God says if you are going to cleave to your wife, there has to be a living, a living. You have to live somewhere.
Your
You
mother
have to
and your
live
father. Mm.
geographically. You have to live financially. You have to live in terms of influence from your family so that you can
Yes.
start a new family. So when you talk of a kingdom marriage, we're talking of starting a new family as opposed to maybe joining a new family. This is so
Mm.
confusing to many people because
Yes,
people don't
because
know what they're getting
in our
into.
Zimbabwean culture, the female is joining the male's family, isn't it?
Yes, that
Mm,
makes it a traditional. According to me, it's a traditional marriage. But in a
right.
kingdom marriage, it's two people coming together. It's not five people from my family and five people from her family or joining of two families. It's not like
Mm,
that.
mm,
It's it's two people coming together. But not to say that the idea of families joining is wrong. It is
it's
not
wrong.
wrong, but it
Of
also
course.
brings a lot of pressure, particularly on the new couple. Imagine you're married today and there's this huge expectation for you to join two families. Come on,
Yes.
that's a mammoth task. So, kingdom marriage is premised on the principles of God, the
Of
principle
God.
of living, the principle of openness, trust, and it's actually modeled alongside, or rather, it's modeled um, with the relationship between Christ and the church.
Mm, mm,
That's what we look at when we
mm.
are modeling this kind of a marriage that we're talking about. We look at the marriage between Christ and the church. So if my marriage is like the relationship between Christ and the church, that makes it a kingdom marriage.
Powerful. Amazing. So would you say is love enough to sustain a relationship? Or
Of
is it
course,
just a
Chelsea,
myth?
oh, love is never enough. It's not enough. You need more than love,
Right.
Chelsea, to sustain a marriage. I want to
Mm,
paint another scenario again. The day that you get married, it's like you get a box. It's like
mm,
God gifts you with a box. So
right.
you've got to put stuff into that box, and then you can make withdrawals out of that box. You get an empty box. So if you want to be loved, you put in love there. If you
Mm,
want joy, you put in joy there.
joy in the
If you
box.
want
Mm,
whatever you want, you put in the box so that you can withdraw later. Okay. So love alone is not enough. There are many other things that you have to look at that makes a marriage good. Many things. Love is just the beginning. It's just the beginning. And in many cases, it's just infatuation that we confuse with love. It's just,
mm,
feelings that we consider, wow, I'm in love with this person because I have feelings towards them. But you have
mm.
to go beyond the feeling. And there comes the big word, commitment. Beyond love, there has to be commitment. Because without
Yes.
commitment, that relationship can never be sustained. There has to be commitment.
So
Sure.
you and Pastor Gloria have been married for 26 years plus now. What is the biggest lesson that you've learned about marriage and love?
Okay, the biggest lesson for us, Chelsea, is there's the law that they call the law of entropy. The law of entropy, spelled ENTROPY, entropy. So what it says that if you are not intentional, about a thing, and you leave it in its natural state, that thing will decline. It will die a natural
Wow.
death. So from the beginning, right from the onset, Gloria and I were very intentional about what we wanted in our marriage. We had to roll up our sleeves and work on it. We didn't just sit there and say, okay, the marriage officer pronounced us man and wife, then we are good. No, we're very intentional about what we wanted. It took a lot of planning, because if you fail to plan for your marriage, if you have a marriage and you don't have a plan for it, you will not enjoy that marriage. Instead, you endure. So Gloria and I are very intentional about what we do. We practice a lot, and we keep on learning, because we believe that marriage is a school. And the day that you stop learning, that's the day that your marriage dies. So
Wow.
you've got to keep on learning and learning and learning. We've been married for 26 years and we've not stopped learning. And many times
Amazing.
we learn from even couples that come to us for counseling, and that makes us a better couple.
Oh, wow. I like that. Marriage is a school. It's a skill. It's something that you need to learn and keep learning, right?
Yes, it's a school. You need
Mm.
to learn about your partner, because people are changing. I'm not the same Simba that married Glory 26 years
Of
ago. I've
course.
changed. Glory
Yes.
is not the same. We have changed. So you've got to learn your person. Maybe they've
Mm.
moved from one love language to the next.
Another.
You also need to learn what are called love maps, because in order for me to love Glory, I need to understand how she's wired. I need
Mm.
to also to understand her temperament. She also needs to understand my temperament, so that we can get along well. Because conflict you always have, but if you don't know how to deal with conflict and you have no knowledge on how to deal with conflict, then that relationship is doomed.
Wow, that's great. What would you say are non-negotiables in a strong relationship?
Okay, all right. So there are four levels.
Mm,
If you are dating, if you're in the dating phase, there are four
yeah.
levels to look at. Number one, they are what we call the deal breakers.
Mm,
So you've got to learn to draw the line, to draw the boundaries as a single person. And you come up with your own set of deal breakers. And you say to
wow.
yourself, for instance, if I'm a believer, I'll say, I want to get married to a believer.
Of course.
Non-believer, that's a no-no for me.
Mm,
That becomes a deal breaker. It means that I'm going to be found more in church, because chances are that I'm going to meet a believer in church.
right.
Okay, so that's a deal breaker. Someone will say, okay, I don't mind which church a person goes to as long as they are believers,
Like,
but if it's another religion, no for me. That's a deal breaker. Okay, then the next level, you look at what we call green flags. Green flags are when the person that comes your way ticks all the boxes.
mm,
Those are the green flags. And I know there's some that have prayed for a particular spouse, and you've got a
right.
particular spouse in mind, and someone comes and you just tick all the boxes. Those are the green flags. Then
Does
there's
that
also
does
the
that include tall, dark, and handsome? Does that include beautiful long hair? What's the green flags?
yeah, the Bible is very clear. It says that delight yourself in the Lord, and He'll give you the desires of your heart.
Right. Yes.
So you can actually list your desires, Chelsea, and say,
Mm,
okay, I want a man who's tall. I want a man who's. And by the way, when ladies say they want a tall man, what they're actually yearning for is someone who can actually give them the security. It's
right.
a
A
matter of security.
protector.
Yeah, it's not
Mm,
about height. It's about someone that they can look up to, someone that they can, say, okay, I've got a man who's going to,
right.
to be there for me. So there's the green flags. Then there's also the orange flags. Now the orange
Okay.
flags are, you're doubting, you don't know whether to go or not.
Mm,
Okay. But when you then come to us as your coaches, as your accountability partners, will be able to tell you that, you know what, this I'm sure it can be corrected or it cannot be corrected. If it can be corrected, then it's an orange flag. You can then get into
Mm,
that relationship with the hope that someone will be able to actually change and become better in that area. Then the fourth one is obviously the red flags. Red
mm.
flags, run away from red flags. And it's so funny, Chelsea, how you can observe some of these red flags that we're talking about here. For instance, you go on a date with a guy,
Mm,
just watch the way he's treating the waiter or the waitress. If he's
mm.
going to be rough on the waiter or the waitress, be rest assured, come marriage, he's going to be hard on you. So you also tell how he interacts with other people. So it's about
Wow.
observing all those things, and some of them definitely are red flags that you must watch out for and run away as fast as you can. Unfortunately, a lot of young people, single people, they date blindly. Don't date blindly.
Because love is
Make sure that
blind. You
you
don't during love, you don't see all these flags. You're just feeling the love, the butterflies, you know.
true, true. But that's the reason why you must surround yourself with good friends that can actually
Mm,
see what you're not
see,
seeing
yes,
because you are
yes.
deep in the mix. You can't see that, okay? But if you have friends that care for you, they'll be able to tell you that, you know what, that guy is
It's not
giving a
good.
certain vibe that I don't like. And then
Mm,
please listen to that voice because God speaks, the Holy Spirit speaks, and many times He speaks through the people around us. And some
wow.
can be your parents, some can be your siblings or your friends. So
Mm.
don't disregard their voices. But I know that young people, when they're in love, Chelsea, everyone else is crazy. They don't care
Of
about
course,
what people
everyone else
say.
is jealous.
Yes, yes.
Pastor Simba, you've mentored hundreds of couples. What are the most common struggles that people in relationships face?
Do you mean those that that are not yet married or those that are now in marriage?
Let's start with the ones that are not yet married, and then we'll jump into the marriage ones.
Okay, obviously, for the ones that are not yet married, one of the biggest challenges for me is that they don't have a clear roadmap. People are
Mm,
just dating and they don't know where they're
where
going.
they're going.
That's number one. Number two, they don't know how to ask, or rather, they don't ask the relevant questions while dating.
Mm,
They'll be busy just, they think that dating is just about having coffee, just eating, just, seeing places. But it's a time to collect data from the word
mm,
dating, to collect data, so that you can actually make up your mind as to whether you want to be with that person or not. So it's a
mm,
period where people collect data, but people don't
mm,
have such conversations, unfortunately. I would want us to be very open, when we are dating. Ask,
mm,
what are your beliefs around polygamy? What are your beliefs around money issues? Do
mm.
you believe we're going to have, do you believe in separate accounts or common accounts? These are
Right.
discussions that you must actually have during dating.
Mm,
All those things, they matter. So people don't actually discuss such during dating. I don't know what you guys will be discussing. Will you be discussing sports? I don't know. But I think those are the most important questions that one should actually,
right.
give to their person. And
Mm,
I also believe that our particularly young women should actually have the courage to, to ask a guy and say, Sha, we've been dating for 5 years. Where's this thing taking us to?
going,
Because
yes.
you can't allow such a thing to happen. Dating for 5 years, is that a presidential term? Come on. Come on. Be upfront. Ask the guy.
Right.
It's okay for a young woman to ask a guy and say, my guy, where are we going?
Where
Are
are
you
we
going to marry
going?
me or not?
Mm,
It's about your life. So you
mm,
have every
mm,
reason to ask. I don't believe that with all the women emancipation that we're talking about right now, and then we have women, young women that can't ask anything or contribute to their, to their future
mm,
in as far as marriage is concerned. I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong. You've got to ask, be upfront about the future.
mm.
So those are some of the challenges. I don't think people are getting into discussions. That's one challenge. And boundaries,
Right.
of course. There are some people that then behave like they're married, but they're still dating because the boundaries are blurry, things like that.
Mm.
Lack of mentorship. I believe if you're dating to marry, please make sure that you have
Mentorship.
a community that you actually are accountable to, maybe
Mm.
your pastor or your mentors or things like that. So that's
Yeah.
lacking in relationships. And then when it comes to marriage, same issue again. People don't have what we call ongoing. I would call them enrichment.
Okay.
Uh,
Mm.
should I say enrichment plans? Like, you've got to be attending couples events. You've got to be
Mm.
reading about marriage. Don't just get in there and relax.
And be
Go on
comfortable.
dates nights, things like that. Yeah.
Yes.
So many people don't have that in marriage. Once they are married, they relax. And secondly, I think people also don't have what I call accountability partners.
Mm.
In case you have challenges, you must have people that you go to. In case you have a crisis, what's your crisis intervention plan?
Mm.
Do you have someone that you look up to and say, okay, if we have issues, we'll go to this person?
This person.
So people are lacking in as far as that. So marriage then becomes something to endure, not to enjoy. And
Oh, wow.
obviously, people don't plan together. There's so
Mm.
much HSC. There's so much. Yeah,
It's okay. We'll have you back. We'll have you back and really dig into it.
sure. I'm
Um,
available. I'll do that.
amazing. So, how important is communication in marriage?
Okay, communication, I would say, is the it's the it's what then makes a relationship happen, because
Mm.
in a relationship you have two people, and there's either way there's communication happening. Some of it is negative and some is positive, so you need to understand the communication cycle. The person who's passing on a message needs to encode that message, to properly encode the message so that it makes sense when the receiver gets the message. So it's very important for people to understand how communication flows, how you give a message, and how you also give back feedback, how you package
Mm.
your message, and how, as a listener, you decode and make sense out of that message.
Mm.
Because communication is the blood of, or it's what do they call it, Chelsea, the lifeblood of a relationship or something like that. But it's
Right.
what makes a relationship work. Without communication,
Mm.
and mind you, when we say communication, it's not just communication, we are saying effective communication. Because remember, people are communicating either way. And
Mm.
unfortunately, most of the communication is not effective. That's why coaching is very important. If you can attend an enrichment seminar where you're being taught how to communicate as a couple, that would be great for your
Be
marriage.
good. Wow. And also, like, do healthy couples fight? And what does a healthy fight looks like?
Chelsea, I've got bad news for you. You know, conflict is unavoidable in marriage.
Mm.
I'll tell you this and I'll repeat it. There's
Mm.
no way you can avoid conflict because you are two people that are coming from two different backgrounds,
Right.
different temperaments. One is a sanguine, the other one is a choleric or a phlegmatic, a melancholic, and
Mm.
that brings in a lot of challenges. And remember, marriage is a covenant here. It's a covenant, and in
Mm.
a covenant, you have two people that are different how they
Mm.
do things. When it comes to money, the other one is a spender and the other one is a saver. The other one is a taker, the other one is a giver. So these are
Mm.
two different people that you is put in one space. So they are bound to fight.
Mm.
Now, the problem is not whether you're going to fight or not. The challenge is, do you have the tools, the principles that will guide you as you try to manage the conflict, as you try to de-escalate? Because when there's a fight, when there's a conflict, either you're going to escalate the conflict or you're going to de-escalate the conflict. And the challenge that most people have is that they focus more on conflict resolution. And unfortunately, 69% of the challenges that we face in marriage are unresolvable. You can't resolve them.
Oh, wow.
But you'd rather go the route or the way of managing conflict. When you manage conflict, you then come up with ways and systems of navigating around a challenge, navigating around an area of conflict. So that's how you do it, Chelsea. Conflict you always have, but you need to learn the skills of managing conflict. Don't go for the escape route, don't go for the attack route, but rather sit down and learn to work through
Money.
your conflict,
Mm,
and that will help you.
great. And then can we touch on trust? Can a relationship recover after trust has been broken?
Trust is the most precious commodity in any relationship. And
Mm,
trust is built in droplets, until you
mm.
fill up a whole balloon of trust. But
Right.
it's lost in a gush. Just one incident of cheating,
Mm,
all trust is gone just like that. And to build it back, it's a challenge. So the question is, can it be built back? Yes, it
mm,
can, as long as you both know how to do it. In case of infidelity, the faithful partner and the unfaithful partner, they must both know what they need to do at that point.
mm.
Particularly the unfaithful partner, they need to know what they should do in order for them to actually build back that trust. And obviously, my advice is that they should seek for help from maybe people like us. Um,
Right.
I also work as an affair recovery specialist, and that's our job, helping partners build back that lost trust after, especially infidelity. So, yeah, trust can be built back, but it's a lot of work, I
It
must
takes
say.
time. Yeah. So
It is.
it's better not to break it completely, right?
Of course, of course, it's better to affair proof the relationship, be
Yes.
intentional about affair proofing the relationship, and
Mm,
normalize sitting down and having what we call a needs assessment meeting, where you talk frankly to each other and
mm,
you say, babe, am I meeting your needs? Am I meeting your expectations? What must I do to meet your expectations and your needs?
mm.
We must normalize such conversations. And unfortunately, with most couples, those conversations never happen. I want couples to learn the art of having those difficult conversations because
Conversations.
that's what will
Mm.
make a marriage work.
Wow. So, Pastor Simba, you're also a parenting coach.
Yes.
How does a strong marriage impact parenting?
Okay, the best way to parent, or rather, let me say, we parent more with what we are doing. It's not
Mm,
about the words, it's not about the instructions that we dish out to our kids. It's about what we are doing because
mm.
they learn by observation.
Yes.
Children, at whatever age, they learn more by observation. I always say this to couples that, you know what, marriage coaching for your child does not start in the last week of their wedding, in the build up to their wedding. No,
Mm,
it starts right there when they're still young, when they're still toddlers, when they're still teenagers. That is what will form an attachment that they also bring to their marriage later on in their adult life. So, whatever you're doing now, it is parenting, you're putting something in them. So, I always say to parents, your actions, how you live your marriage, has a lot of impact on how your children are going to behave in their adult life. So it's about that. It's also about making sure that you model the right marriage for your
mm,
children. They must see love from you. They've no relationship with God yet.
mm.
So if they're going to learn about the love of God, they must see mom and dad practicing that. So that's how you impact your children, even in their their infants.
You've just touched on my next question, but I'll ask it anyway. Um, why is it important for society to campaign healthy marriages?
Why is it? Come again, Chelsea. I didn't
Why
get that.
why is it important for society to champion healthy marriages?
The institution of marriage has been under attack for the longest, Chelsea. Right
Mm,
from the book of Genesis, God put Adam and Eve in the garden, and before we knew it, there's infighting there. Siblings are fighting each other. The
mm,
devil has also come in, and then in the book of Genesis, you see polygamy. You see a lot of funny things happening. That's an attack on the institution of marriage. And
mm,
fast forward, I tell you, a lot of young people. they are now saying, you know what, I would rather not get married because I'm seeing a lot of things happening in
Mm,
certain marriages that are around me, and therefore marriage is not a good thing to get into. I'm seeing divorces, the divorce rate is spiking every year, so they would rather not get married. So
mm,
that's the reason why we then need to come in and campaign for marriage and tell people
mm,
that marriage is still good. You can still enjoy marriage.
mm.
There are many other couples out there that are enjoying their marriages. So we need to bring them up and showcase them so that we can actually revive that faith in marriage that has been lost by people.
Oh, great. That's great. What is one core principle every couple should apply today from your book, the Marriage Handbook?
Okay, my absolute favorite from this book, I've got a copy here. I don't know how I can get it to you, but I'll
Mm.
find means of getting it to you. But definitely one thing that I enjoy the most in this book is how you can navigate around in-law problems, because a lot
Mm,
of people like us, particularly us Africans, we have challenges when it comes to in-laws. We are what I call a sandwich generation. You have kids, you also have parents to look after. We also have black tax to take care of.
yes.
So it is very important that you do that with boundaries in mind. Remember, now that you have a family that you started, the family of origin, where you are coming from, is
Mm,
your is another family. So these two families now, in order for them to live in harmony, you need to set boundaries. A good fence maketh good neighbors. Without boundaries, the primary family and the secondary family, which is your family of origin, will be fighting every time. So you've got to put boundaries, like information boundaries. What information goes out, what stays with us. You've got to put in decision-making boundaries. You've got to put in parenting boundaries, things like that. So in this book, I talk a lot about setting up those boundaries so that there can be harmony between the primary family, your family that you're starting, and the family where you're coming from, which is
mm,
your in-laws or your family, your extended family.
mm.
So that's what I like most about this book.
Great. I can't wait to read it. I haven't read it myself, so
I'll send it to you, don't worry.
thank you. As we are rounding up, are people entering relationships and marriages healed, or are they expecting to heal inside the marriage?
Of course, the expectation is, wow, if I find someone who loves me, then things will get better. But
Mm,
chances are that, marriage is a way of amplifying whatever bad was happening to you. If you were unhappy as a single person, get into marriage, I tell
you'll be
you,
unhappy.
the
Happily
unhappiness is going to
married.
be amplified. That's how it works.
Mm,
So you'd rather heal if you are broken-hearted, heartbroken. If you are heartbroken, you've got to heal first before you can uh, get into the next relationship. Otherwise,
mm,
you're carrying this baggage with you into the next relationship, and that relationship is going to be strained, and things might not work out for you because of the past that you're carrying. So if you're going through heartbreaks and all that, please make sure that you heal. Go for counseling. It's very important. That's why we should normalize even divorce counseling. I know, many people don't believe in that, but it's very important. If you're going through a divorce, go for divorce counseling. If you're
yes.
going through a heartbreak, please find someone that can sit you down and help you process that heartbreak so that you heal. That's the reason why even Jesus says that I've come to heal those that are
Broken
broke,
heart.
yeah, that are broken at heart. So
Mm,
it's very important that you take some time to heal before you can go on to the next relationship. Otherwise, the next relationship does not owe you healing. It does not owe you healing. No, it doesn't. Remember, what you put into that box is what you get out of the box. If you
yes.
bring bitterness into that box, you also reap bitterness. So it's very important for you to start on a clean slate. That's why you should go for
Mm,
premarital coaching, because your coaches or your counselors, they should be able to pick all that and help you
mm.
heal before committing to the next relationship.
Wow. So you reap what you sow in marriage. That's so
Yes, it's the principle. It works even in marriage.
amazing. In our closing question today. Can you be with the right person at the wrong time?
Wow. Can you be with the right person at the wrong time?
Mm,
I don't think so, Chelsea. If they're the right person and they've come in that time, yeah, that's the right person, that's the right time. But maybe the question is, you may have you may have this right person, but you then quickly marry. That can be a challenge as well, because we
right.
also need to mature before we marry, regardless of the fact
Mm,
that you found Mr. Right or Miss Right. You've got to mature. If you don't mature, then you'll have challenges. I've seen a lot of people that quickly got into marriage before they matured and they had challenges for real. So understand the areas where one must mature physically, financially, emotionally, spiritually, all those areas. Otherwise, you might have the right person, but if you're not mature spiritually, I'm telling you, marriage will make you a prayer warrior.
that's very true.
It will make you a prayer warrior.
Wow, thank you so much. This has been really incredible. It's been a powerful, impactful conversation, and I know that you've inspired so many people to get married. So, for those of us that are watching today, Pastor Simba, where can they catch you?
Okay, so you can look for Pastor Simba Woloza on Facebook, Pastor Simba Woloza, Woloza with a W,
Mm,
or you can also find me as Married by Simba across all social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Married by Simba, or you can also look for Strong Bonds ZW, Strong Bonds ZW. That's the organization that does relationships, retreats, seminars,
mm,
and all that. And we are programs coordinators.
amazing.
WhatsApp number if you want to reach out to me and also be part of the broadcast list so that you can receive Marriage on Mondays, my popular blog that comes out every Monday, and
Mm,
also Singles on Saturdays. It also comes out every Saturday, going out to all the singles out there. My number is plus 263 773 000 plus 263 773 000. You can also get in touch with us if you want to also go through our premarital coaching program if you are planning to get
amazing.
married. Thank you,
And you,
Chelsea.
thank you so much. And you
Thank
can
you.
also catch Pastor Simba on Star FM every Thursday on
Yes.
Relationship Goals. I've been listening to that.
11:30 CAT,
Yes, yes.
11:30 a.m. CAT.
Yeah, it's been
Thank
great.
you.
So, to our GCC community, thank you for tuning in yet again. Please do subscribe and share our videos and head to our Instagram account for like and engagement. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.